We are super excited to have you guys on this episode today.
You kind of do got to step out on faith, love traveling.
Believe you have it, then you will achieve it. Like when it comes to like thankfulness and like, I just think that overall you should really be grateful for like what you have now, because they say if you appreciate what you have, God will bless you with more. But I do say that I think I am grateful. But, you know, there's different things that I want. And I'm like, they'll just easily come over time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think those are, like, the main components, though. Even though I could really go on for days, like, all the things I'm thankful for. Like, they say that as a good practice, like, you should get up and write down a few things that you're grateful for every day. Like, different things. Like, find different things. Like, especially whenever you're lacking, like, gratitude. Like, you're trying to figure out why I even have this life, or what's good about your life, what you have going on and stuff like that. I used to do that when I journaled, but I haven't really done that in a long time, though. That was actually a mechanism I learned from therapy.
It says say what you're grateful for.
Yeah, like on a daily basis. It kind of helped you like through depression or like feeling overwhelmed and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely like probably a mental thing, but I'm like, I don't know, because I feel like you could be grateful and thankful, and I feel like they try to shame you on like not wanting more sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's like I am grateful, but it's like I still feel like I'm not where I'm at, or like I want to do something else. And so I feel like that's kind of the hard part of being thankful. Not being thankful, but being thankful, but also like being grateful. It's like, okay,
right,
I'm grateful for this. This is good, but it's just like, but I know I want something else, or I know I want to do something else. So I feel like that's kind of the hard part.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that if you don't feel thankful, sometimes you have to really look at what's around you. You know, as we talked about in our previous episode, if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. We're talking about how to navigate the holidays as being single. Mm-hmm. So I think during that time, sometimes people can be a little bit lonely and they're like, oh, I don't really appreciate, you know, but sometimes you have to look at like the smaller things. There's some people out here that's like fighting for their lives this Thanksgiving, and they don't even know if they'll even see Christmas. So, you know, I am thankful like every day that I wake up, like God gave me another day. Mm-hmm. I'm like, obviously, if I'm still here, I'm here for a certain reason. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know exactly what that might be. But I'm guessing I have a purpose or something. So we just gonna go with that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I know that along the way, I've really learned a lot in my journey and stuff like that, and I'm steadily still learning. You know, I definitely don't know everything about life, all the ins and outs and stuff. Life is a mystery, so you have to just take it as what it is.
That's definitely true.
So is there anything that you want to personally share, like when it comes to gratefulness, like how you kind of get out of like an overwhelming state of mind?
That's a good question, because I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm overwhelmed right now. Like, I feel like I'm overwhelmed in this season. Mm-hmm. Just trying to figure out, like, I haven't thought about 2025 actually at all.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about 2025. I'm like, it's just a new year and nothing really changes. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I'm like, I live in reality, like, this sense of like, oh, 2025, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, that's not really my story right now. I'm just kind of just living, and like, I'm just taking life a day at a time, because there's so many different bumps in the roads and different things that's going on that is really kind of hard. But I would say that I'm thinking like, okay, I'm like, let me pray for this. Let me be like, okay, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. Right. And I do think that I am grateful for the things that I have. I just don't know if I say it like every day, like I'm grateful. But, you know, when you do see things, or you like, I don't know, I went to the gym and I was like, oh, my wrist hurts or whatever to my trainer. He's like, well, at least, you know, this isn't that. I don't like when people do that stuff like that. Like, oh, well, at least this, like, at least you don't have this. Like, it's like, but it's still, and it's like, I just feel like there's not a space or a time where you can just really like talk about your things that you don't like
be openly vulnerable.
Yeah.
You think that people are kind of going to shame you, like make you feel bad for what you're trying to express.
Yeah. So I feel like that is really kind of where I'm even at. Like, I'm just like, you try to share, you try to say something, and they're just like, well, no, think of it this way. No. So it's like positive mindset and stuff like that, which is cool. But then it's like, okay, but it's like, I'm really trying to figure out what I'm doing. Like, I'm really trying to say like, this is affecting me this way because this is happening. So it's kind of hard when you're like in the different spaces of like, okay, I'm grateful for this. I know I want this, but like, you want to share but still be thankful.
Right.
So I feel like that is like a whole bunch of, things that kind of you got to learn. It's like, okay, everybody's not going to listen. People are going to have different perspectives, and they're going to have their own perspective.